This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Virginia McConnell.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of an entertainment production company? One might be closer than you think. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you to our good neighbor, Brandon Bell, with World by Storm. How's it going?
So far, so good. But like I said, been looking forward to this all day. I just got home from my regular job, and I'm ready to talk about something way cooler than my regular job.
Nice. Yes, we're excited to learn all about you and your business. Tell us about your company.
Okay, so we're World by Storm. If I don't know how the links are going to work on this, but it is spelled World X Storm. We learned pretty early on that in terms of domain space and copyrights and registering, that World by Storm was a lot more expensive than World X Storm, but it is pronounced World X Storm, or World by Storm, like 4x4.
Got it. And so what do you guys do exactly?
We do a little bit of everything. We're primarily rooted in entertainment, but we're very community oriented. So we do a lot of networking with local businesses, local artists. We do everything from affordable concerts in small towns to we've done weddings. I've done stand-up comedy. I worked with the Trailer Park Boys from Netflix and brought them to Penn, which is a tiny little town. I brought pro wrestling to the Yates County Fair. I've done tons of concerts. The most recent one was Punk Rock Prom 5. We also like to partner up with local non-for-profits with most of our shows and donate most of the proceeds to local profits. And again, networking, like putting businesses and artists and entertainers and our little town on the map and making sure everybody has the resources that they need to create special events. Like I said, from anywhere from weddings to full-blown rock and heavy metal shows.
Nice. And how did you get into this business?
So years ago, for most of my life, I guess I'm on the other half of it now, but for years I was a traveling performer in a rock band. We kind of peaked out 15 or 16 years ago in the Rochester, Syracuse market, Elmira recording market. And I found out I was going to be a dad in 2014, so I retired as a active performer to focus on being a dad. And my passion for entertainment and live music and live entertainment, all that stuff, I kind of shifted gears and started promoting and booking. I learned graphic design. I went to college for marketing with a focus on branding. And yeah, me and my ex-girlfriend, my daughter's mother, started this in 2015 in Watkins Glen. And the idea was just like some people in our area, like everybody's kind of like right about at the poverty line. A few of us live way above it. A few of us live way below it. But I wanted to do affordable entertainment because sometimes your favorite band comes to Rochester and it's $75 a ticket and you want to go with your wife or your best friend and it's just not affordable. So I figured 10 bands for $10, 5 bands for $10, bringing in somebody from Netflix, the Trailer Park Boys, for $25 at a bowling alley, by the way. And it was just trying to bring the community together and offer affordable entertainment options. And even still to this day, our last event, Punk Rock Prom 5, was $10. So for 11 years now, I've tried my best to keep my price point as affordable as possible. I would say 90% of our shows are $10, no matter what. Occasionally I get offers for some bigger names like Randy from the Trailer Park Boys, so we have to go a little bit above that. Also, 90% of our shows are family friendly. And I like to create an environment where you can decide if your kid should be there or if you want to bring grandma. Now, we do the Trailer Park Boys. It's like you have to decide what's appropriate for your family, but there's never anything ultra violent. It's always meant so that you can bring your kids or your aunt. If you want to, you'll have to investigate the program. But that was basically affordable, family-friendly entertainment for our little area because we're kind of secluded. It's an hour to get to this place, an hour to get to that place. So if we can create 3 or 4 special events every year in our little market. And then that evolved. I went through a separation with my daughter's mother, and now I'm married. My wife and I relaunched World by Storm in 2023. We've done just a handful of shows. The last one was super successful, Punk Rock Prom 5. We raised almost $600 for the local backpack program, which supplies kids with all of their school needs, nutritional supplemental items for kids that maybe need on the weekend. And we've done this 5 years with them, and it's a very strong sense of community here in Pinyan, which was what inspired me to relaunch and try to give back to the community that has supported me for so long.
That's awesome. And what are some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
I would say there are a lot of snakes out there. That can be a promoter, that can be a venue owner. There are people that are creating art, whether it's music or I would say comedy, but snakes, but they're very self-interested. And I'm trying to remove that stigma so that when you come to a World by Storm event, you know that you're just as important as the band, and the band can't do this without the sound guy, and none of us can do this without the venue. And I'm going to bring in a brewery, I'm going to bring in a nice or a winery or a local business, and like I said, we're going to create an atmosphere that your family can enjoy. And knock on wood, we've never had any issues with that, but if there ever were, I'm totally transparent. Like when I'm sorting through my numbers with these donations and stuff, I'm like, hey, we haven't donated yet, but this is what it looks like. And then we make the actual donation. And most of the time it's exactly what we projected. But then I also provide paperwork and documentation to prove that. And so I try to be transparent to remove the stigma that everybody in entertainment is a snake. And I don't know what it's like in LA, and I don't know what it's like in New York City, but I can tell you in my little town, people have learned to trust my programs and my vision. And I just want everybody to know that I've lost so much more money than I've made on this idea. But the idea is to create that sense of community and safety and family friendly fun stuff. We've had petting zoos, we've had bounce houses. Whatever we can do to get the whole family out for an affordable price. Typically, we don't charge for kids under a certain age for certain events. And even when we bring pro wrestling in, sometimes the bad guy can be a little bit edgier, but we're never going to really cross too many lines to where you're mortally offended or hurt. So I guess that's the stigma in my industry that I try to steer away from and assure people that we're not doing it. Just don't want to be toxic, don't want to be a snake, don't want to take advantage of anybody. And like I said, I've lost more money than I've made, and I'm proud of it.
Okay. Well, we all know that marketing is the heart of every business. Who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
I use all the social media analytics kind of guide me through. I don't really have a tool. One of the things I do is I work with the local newspaper. I work with the local radio station. I've been doing business with them all for 11 years, officially as World by Storm, but even prior to that with my old bands, upwards of 18 to 20 years. I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was saying, what is your target customer and how do you attract them?
Okay. So I guess, like I said, it's families. I think in the type of entertainment I do, I primarily hard rock on the music side. I do a lot of stand-up comedy. My stand-up, because I do perform, is all clean. But I would say that probably 28 to 40 is my range. I like to look at analytics that especially show me what's going on and the attention that we're gaining in our little town, in our county, in our little community from Watkins Glen to Pinyan to Geneva and a little bit beyond. We have a little bit of a presence in Rochester and Syracuse, but I track analytics through Facebook, through TikTok, through Instagram, all that stuff. But I think our target audience in terms of demographics are going to be 25 to 40, both men and women, but especially families, with a kid or two that, okay, if you want to go out to a rock show and want to bring your kid, you still can.
Nice. Okay. And have you ever thought about having your own podcast?
Oh yeah. So I have these headphones. I got this out, but I haven't used it yet. My wife has been, ever since the pandemic coming out of it, like we wanted to start one. We had a big move into a new house that we're buying, and we have all the stuff that we need to start a podcast. We just haven't created the space for it and can't seem to find the time.
Yeah. Okay. And then outside of work, what do you do for fun?
Oh man. Well, this World by Storm is fun, and everything that we do, my wife and I have a daughter, I have 3 stepdaughters and a grandson now. My daughter's 11, my stepdaughter in the house is 13. So, like, what we do for fun is, like, we go on vacations every year. Me and my wife have traveled to Phoenix, Arizona. We go to Nashville. We take the girls down to North Carolina every year. So that's what we do for fun. But World by Storm is the fun. My wife is a professional chef. She has a full-time job. I clean toilets out of college. So World by Storm is the fun. And it's all like my wife has a business. Again, I try to network. And that's what we do for fun. But we try to carve out time for the family. I took my daughter to the bowling alley. We go to the movies, but traveling, creating moments, the same thing I try to do with the business, create moments for the family.
Okay, Brandon, tell our listeners one thing they can remember about World by Storm.
If you come to a World by Storm show, no matter what, I think you're going to have a great time, especially like if you look at what's going on and you're interested, you're going to have a blast. But even if you just give us a chance, I bet you'll fall in love with what we're doing. There's a thing in pro wrestling about suspending your disbelief or just letting yourself go and having a good time. And I think if you come to any of our events or if you hire us for your wedding or whatever the case may be, I do think that you're going to notice a strong sense of professionalism, but also a lot of fun. Very easygoing, laid back, and we just want to create affordable options because, we're living in weird times. The economy is not great. Doesn't seem like you can afford to do anything sometimes, and I understand that. I'm part of that little crowd, so I'm just trying to make sure everybody can do something fun with their family. And if I could build a theme park, I would.
Okay, Brandon. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Virginia. And I want to mention real quick, I have a band. I'm in 2 bands, but my solo project is called Sweet Dreams Virginia, and I named it after you. I just decided that. So if anybody's interested, Sideline All-Stars is my rock band. Sweet Dreams Virginia is my solo project. Sorry for the shameless plug, but...
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsarasota.com. That's gnpsarasota.com or call 941-949-1865.